Hey, true seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Saturday, January 21st, 2017. We're looking at the front page of CNN.com. They have this woman with the headdress that is the U.S. flag. And what's so interesting about this is that just yesterday, January 20th, 2017, Inauguration Day for Donald Trump, one of CNN's feature stories yesterday was the new artwork from Shepard Fairey, the artist who gave us the image of Obama with the word hope in 2008. Obama, the 44th president, the word hope in Gematria, the alphabetic order, the ancient language of coding numbers into words. H is the eighth letter, O the 15th, P the 16th, E the 5th. Added together, 44. So yesterday, CNN had this story about his new image, his new message for this presidential election, which we'll talk more about. I read this story yesterday. It didn't mention that this image was based on a real woman. It was just a message in a drawing, which we'll get to. But, how interesting that the next day that CNN on their front page has up this very similar image of this woman who they are presenting as one of the women protesters for the March on Washington, something that I covered when it was first announced November 12th, 2016. We'll touch back on that. But the headline, Moment or Movement. And the thing is, this woman, no doubt, is essentially a model. This picture taken, or I guess they could say it's people inspired by the Shepard Fairey drawing. But even if it is, why does the media want to get this image out there? Why do they want to introduce it to us yesterday? Now, today, front page, a woman looking much like the drawing introduced yesterday. It's very clear what they're trying to do. I don't have any problem with this. Wear whatever kind of headdress you want to wear. But we know what the people who run the media are trying to do. Ever since September 11th, 2001, they have been scaring this nation, as well as pretty much the rest of the world at this day and age, that there's an Islamic boogeyman threat out there. And there's been a lot of hatred created needlessly for Islamic people. This headdress, this image reminding of an Islamic faith, burqa, with the flag. They're teaching Americans to hate Muslims, the Islamic faith. And at the same time that they're programming the public to hate Islam, they're also, what our nation's been doing this entire time, this same type of programming has been going on in the media, is they've been having more and more Muslims move into the country from foreign nations. A lot of poor communities have a lot of poor refugee Muslims coming over from other nations who are now joining communities full of minorities that have been demonized by the same media for decades. Teaching the American people to hate a group of people and then bringing more of them into the country. What's been going on in the post 9/11 agenda. And now we get Donald Trump, who's been running with rhetoric about kicking out all the Muslims, kicking out all the Mexicans, appealing to the Fox News segment of the country. Everyone's just divided over all this nonsense. Race, religion, sex, sexuality, what music you listen to, what news station you watch. But Fox News, targeted audience. Did Fox News forget to tell its Republican base that Donald Trump was a lifelong Democrat until 2009? Two parties that represent the same agenda. So anyway, Hope artist new poster. And again, Hope, same artist who gave us Obama, Hope 44. The artist, his name is Shepard Fairey. Shepard's a name with 44 gematria. Could be a coincidence, Goes well with Hope. But here's the article from yesterday. Shepard Fairey, the artist behind the 2008 Hope poster depicting then presidential candidate Barack Obama, has produced a new set of images in time for President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration this Friday. The 3 posters feature Muslim, Latino, and African American women. We thought they were the 3 groups that had been maybe criticized by Trump and maybe were going to be most, if not necessarily, vulnerable in a literal sense. Most feeling that their needs would be neglected in a Trump administration, Fairey told CNN. Fairey, along with artist Jessica Sobagol and Ernesto Urena, teamed up with the nonprofit Amplifier Foundation, a self-described art machine for social change, to produce works for the organization We the People campaign. Show you what's so interesting about it, them calling it We the People. Notice it says, we the people are greater than fear. It's really about making sure that people remember that we the people means everyone. It means all the people, Fairey said. I think the campaigns were very divisive, more from one side than the other, but it's just reminding people to find their common humanity and look beyond maybe one narrow definition of what it means to be American. The campaign's objective, as stated in its Kickstarter campaign, is to flood Washington with symbols of hope January 20th. So I guess that's pretty much the narrative, that they invested all this money, and now, today, front page news story, a woman dressed just like the cartoon character. So here's what's up. Yesterday's date, January 20th, 2017, Inauguration Day, the date for the campaign. Date with 58 numerology. Donald Trump just won the 58th presidential election. Look at the gematria of We the People. 58, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Annuit Coeptus 58. You think that's a coincidence in light of Hope being perfect with 44? Now We the People, perfect for the 58th presidential election, the 58th presidential inauguration. As I pointed out, 2 weeks ago it was announced that they were having a new man for the ceremony, and he was 58 years old. His name's Steve Ray. Steve Ray. I'll just show you this. Donald Trump's coming in with the 115th Congress after winning the 58th presidential election. Look at what happens when you write out 58. 115, just like 58-year-old Steve Ray. Donald Trump coming in with the 115th Congress, winner of the 58th presidential election. Shepard Fairey also has the same gematria as President Trump. Could be coincidence, some things, but this whole We the People is not. And the whole fact that we have We the People as a motto is also not coincidence. Let me remind you what the gematria is of United States with the new Gematrinator calculator. I would use it every time, but I'm just a creature of habit. I've gone to those other websites so many times, it's like a muscle reflex. But here's Gematrinator, the best online gematria calculator. United States, 58 with the S exceptions, 40 without. Remember what's special about 40. If you write out 40, it sums to 84. 84. If you write out United States of America in the English reduction, it's 84. States, 84. You see United States, 40. When you write out 40, it sums to 84. And United States of America, 84. You see how those all go together? The divisors of the number 44, if you add them together, they sum to 84. Obama, the 44th president, born on August 4th, 8/4, the name Obama, and Jewish gematria. I'll show you this. The name Obama and Jewish gematria, 84. You see that? If I did it too fast, just go back and watch it again. Should all line up. When you write out 40, it sums to 84. United States equals 40. United States of America, 84. You see? Sometimes I explain things more clearly than others. We the people are greater than fear. That motto, we the people are greater than fear, sums to 148, just like Donald J. Trump, just like The Art of the Deal, the first book he ever published. You think that's a coincidence? You know, this being synced up with the Trump inauguration? I certainly do not. Artists against Trump. Donald Trump's a Jesuit. The word Jesuit's 84. Again, United States of America 84. Divide and Conquer 84. Order out of Chaos 84. Special number to this nation. If you've never read George Orwell's 1984, check out that book. Very important book. Donald Trump, he also had this book come out January 15th, 2000 called The America We Deserve. This is the book where he predicts that Osama bin Laden will have a much bigger terrorist attack against the World Trade Centers. This came out January 15th, 2000, 115, taken over with the 115th Congress. From the release of that book to Inauguration Day was exactly 888 weeks. The name Donald J. Trump in The Art of the Deal also sums to 888. And I'll explain this to you real quick with this calculator. Donald J. Trump. Here, we're just going to keep these values so you can understand how this works. So this is using the alphabetic order right here. Donald J. Trump. D's the fourth letter. O's the 15th. N's the 14th. A's the first. L's the 12th. Are you seeing this? Every letter, you add up the words using the alphabetic order. To get it to this 888 value, you just multiply times 6. This is each letter times 6. D is the fourth letter times 6 is 24. O is the 15th. 15 times 6 is 90. And so on. Added up that way, 888. From the release, where did it go? From the release of this book, January 15th, 2000, The America We Deserve, Make America Great Again, 888 weeks to Inauguration Day. How perfect. If you missed the videos I put out right after the election showing all the predictive programming and TV shows, movies, etc. for Donald Trump to be president, we were warned many times over the years, or we were foretold that we would see this. The Trump presidency. So this image where we began, this is supposedly in Washington, D.C. today. There was the Women's March, which was planned November 12th, 2016. What stood out about the march was that they were reporting right away that it was 44,000 individuals who had signed up. And it looked that there were a lot of people in Washington, D.C. today protesting. So it looked like there was a lot more than 44,000. But I thought it was interesting how they first reported that number, 44. Donald Trump's the 45th president, but the 44th person to be president. Just like how Obama's number 44, but only the 43rd person to be president. Today's date, January 21st, it can be written 21/1, kind of looking like 211. 211 is the 47th prime number, and the word president equals 47. This is the first day, that a president spends in office the way they have terms set up. Inauguration Day, January 20th. It hasn't always been that way. It used to be March 4th. But anyhow, the first full day as president, January 21st. Fitting day in numbers that syncs with president. And for those of you who follow my YouTube channel, read the comments, anytime you see a comment from this guy, Trav W., he makes great observations. He does good work. Thank you, Trav. So I think we covered it all, Truth Seeker. I should mention, in case you're new here, the word birther. The word birther. Let's close out with the word birther. The word that brings Obama number 44 and Donald Trump the 44th person to be president together. It's all a show by the numbers. All right, until next time.